Talk about moving. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We've got about a minute. Jeff Lane will walk over here.
I'm coming.
And probably yawn, because that's what he does. Hey, as Sean and... Oh, hi, Casey. How are you? Now it's just feeling awkward. As Sean mentions to me every time I do these Facebook Live things, he goes, hey, remember to tell people to set their notifications so you know when we're going to go live. We only do it once a day. I don't think our boss would let us do it a whole bunch. But Chuck and Angelique all watching this morning. So, appreciate that. Do I want to tag Jeff Lane? Damn it! Every day, yes, I want to tag Jeff Lane.
A lot of people want to tag me. Just saying.
Okay. To Funky Town.
It's the Wake Up Call with Phil Quinn, brought to you by Phillips Drugs on Richmond's Classic Hits. 1017 The.
6:47 on your Wake Up Call. Jeff Lane is moseyed over from the newsroom, yawning.
Barely. I cut it off.
You did. But we've got just a little bit of time here to get into the news, so we'll talk about where do you want to start? Richmond Common Council meeting last night?
Fine with me. It's your show.
No,
just over here.
It's the Wake Up Call with Phil Quinn. If it was my show, it'd be the Phil Quinn show. So that's the difference. There you go.
All right. Yeah, Richmond Common Council. I think the highlight last night was an update on the Loop project. The Loop project is basically complete. A pre-inspection is going to take place next week. And then after that, it kind of goes into phase two.
Yeah.
It's going to start with a meeting later this month of nearby business owners and residents. That's going to be an invitation-only meeting, by the way.
Yeah.
But then it'll go into phase two.
The Historic Depot District Association is meeting today, and so I don't know if Kate is going to be there to help relay some information from last night or not, but I'm headed to that meeting after the show. So we'll see if there's anything more. I'll roll some sound on that and record it in case there's fisticuffs. No, I won't. But it should be all right. Yeah.
Now, see, if there is and you don't record it, then you're going to feel bad.
Less bad.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to touch on this, but I don't really want to make a big deal out of it.
Love it.
There was a social media post yesterday that created a dispute between two of Richmond's mayoral candidates. I guess not really a dispute, but more or less just a disagreement of how things played out. It began when Republican Jamie Lopeman posted that on his social media that the city was looking to give McBride Stadium to Richmond Community Schools. Democratic incumbent Mayor Dave Snow would say later yesterday that there were a brief informal discussion between the two, but it didn't really go anywhere. It was just a really informal, quick discussion. But then Snow said the school system initiated it. Lopeman said that he heard from a school board member that it was the other way around. So take that for what it's worth.
Well, first of all, this should not be the first issue that these two get into an argument about, because that would be silly. It is fair to say a lot of us that are fans of baseball do not think that McBride Stadium has been a priority for this administration. I mean, it is clear that McBride Stadium is not the focal point of the Parks and Recreation Department under the current administration, period. Now, if somebody else wants to take that under care, that also absolves some serious issues with structural issues, insurance issues. I mean, remember that big lawsuit that Earlham had to go through? So, look, the fact of the matter is there aren't enough baseball fans to support keeping McBride a priority for the Parks and Recreation Department. And then the people that are supportive of baseball are now split between the Richmond Jazz and the Richmond Roosters.
Yeah. And here's another thing. There's no question that McBride Stadium has gone downhill. That's inarguable. But here's one of the main reasons. For decades, and I mean decades, there was who knows how many hours of free labor provided by John Cate himself, keeping that field in the condition that it was once in. Once that stopped, it didn't take long for the condition to go downhill.
Yeah, I just don't know if it's worth saving. I also said tear down the depot and keep the pillars up, and so I was wrong about that. And maybe I'm wrong about McBride. But again, these two guys that are running for mayor don't start here. Pick another issue. You know?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I know they're all listening too. There's people just grabbing their radio and shaking it.
There were a couple of shots fired incidents about this time yesterday morning. Well, actually, I guess a little bit earlier. It was kind of strange because of the timing, but RPD came out later in the day yesterday and said they're not related. The first one happened around 5:30 yesterday morning. Shots were fired near 21st and North D Street. Nobody was hurt. No damage reported. About 15 minutes later after that, this guy shows up at Reed Health, and he's got a gunshot wound. But he said that it was accidental and that it happened clear across town in the 600 block of Northwest L. He sustained a non-life-threatening injury. Boy, just a strange arrest in Randolph County. This she was in Harder Park in Winchester. This mother, her name's Whitney Grass. According to the court affidavit, she was yelling at dirt. She was smelling other kids' clothes and hair. She convinced a group of other kids to attack her own 5-year-old son. She was already facing 2 counts of compulsory school attendance because her kids weren't going to school. Those kids have now been turned over to a grandparent.
Oh, boy.
Brookville, good news for that town. It looks like their community swimming pool is going to become a reality. The town's been without a pool for several years now, but town council signed a contract with an engineering firm to begin the architectural phase. Construction next spring, with an opening set for 2021. The cost of that, by the way, is north of $2 million.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So
don't they have a lake? Brookville has a lake, and I'm telling you, city pools, community pools, it's very tough for them to make money.
Preach.
You know, right? You want one, that's fine, but you got to pay the bill.
Yeah.
And as long as Franklin County is not involved in taking payments for the pool, it's got a shot.
Yeah. If you break even in the swimming pool business, you're doing fantastic.
Right.
And then we'll end with this. Earlham College unveiling a new logo yesterday. It's kind of an interesting one, new block letters. But it's got this starburst.
Yeah.
And the explanation is that, I'm not reading this verbatim, but it's close. It's meant to represent an inner light that Quakers believe resides in everyone.
Good. I think branding is a big thing for me. I like it. I like people when they do it well. This star, which is the same star that is on our proposed city flag. It's right above there, right on the light up there. That's the Quaker star. That's the one that signifies whatever.
Okay.
Problem. That mantra, that slogan, not good for football, because you can't say ignite your inner light. Go kill him, tag him, fight. That this fighting Quakers never really got it for me. So doesn't bode well for the football program.
Well,
but it's okay. I like the logo.
Yeah.
I think it would look good on a helmet. We're going to hear. So she's Ann Houtman, the new president of Earlham, who I really like. She is giving her State of the College today. And so they released the logo yesterday in order to have, all this stuff kind of ready to go. So I can tell you this. This guy's happy to have some Earlham swag.
Yeah.
Send it on over. You can ignite my light by giving me some free sweatshirts.
Free, it's for me.
We're in radio, people.
That's right.
All right, our question of the day. Now, look, it's heavy, but I don't want it to be heavy. I don't want this doesn't have to be some, big political argument. But we did a political question, or kind of a quasi serious question, a couple of weeks ago, and got a lot of response. So, healthcare. What's one thing that you would like to see changed about our current healthcare system?
Man, there's so much.
Yeah.
And I could go 1,000 ways.
Yep.
Obviously the cost. I don't know. My family's we're blessed as pretty healthy people, but we've spent more on healthcare. Now listen to this. We've spent more on healthcare in the last 4 years than we've spent on our house, 3 cars, and a boat combined.
Okay.
And that's ridiculous.
All right.
One thing. Now this is just something that I notice that happens a lot. I hear this complaint a lot. Somehow we got to stop people from treating the emergency room as just an urgent care place.
That's right.
People walk into the ER with sore throats and stuff like that. And
we've heard a story about someone saying they wait till 2 a.m. to call the fire department, basically call 911, because they know they want to go to the hospital, but they don't want to wait in line long. So they wait till 2 a.m. and then call. And it's on the regular that
Yeah,
happens.
I believe it. Yeah.
That's not good.
I don't know. Somebody, don't you got to boot those people out
I-
somehow?
but how can you? They take the Hippocratic oath. If you're injured, we will help you. It's hard to have that kind of. That's how doctors and nurses are trained. It's hard to say, "I'm sorry, we can't help you. I appreciate that you've got a single gunshot wound, self-inflicted, shooter, but we can't help you until we make sure all your money's paid up."
Right.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
So I agree. You can't do that. I say, and I posted on Facebook, cut the defense budget by 15%, expand Medicaid, but then make every single human being that's a citizen of this country, every single one's got to pay a premium or a deductible. 1% of your income, whatever it is. That everybody pays the same percentage based on your income. That way we all have skin in the game. We don't feel like we're getting it free or somebody else is getting it for free and we're paying more. Just make it. But I'm also a flat tax guy.
I am too.
Get rid of income tax and property tax and just charge us for what we buy. That's how I feel. Okay, well, we went long there. Thanks, Jeff.
So, yeah.
Grand Illusion 40th anniversary.
All right, haters. I see on there. Quaker philosophy not really conducive to violent sports regardless. Thank you, Angelique. That's not. You weren't actually being a hater there. I'm teasing. Yeesh. All right, peeps. Eric Marsh is coming in at 8 o'clock. We have the In Focus program is going to start doing their candidate forums, brought to you by Hometown Media and Chamber of Commerce. Also, we have Wet Nose Wednesday, and that's coming up too. So, thank you for watching. Bye now.